Continuing our review on lighting, we are going to take a look at the image-based lighting attributes as it relates to the color space descriptions.
So we are going to go ahead now to the environment light and make some changes.
We open our outliner and select the environment-based light named Mental Ray IBL1, and the attributes the image file name has is the JPEG extension. This means the image mapped onto the light is transmitting color information in the scene, and when the scene is rendered, this will be used to determine how the colors are interpreted. As you can see, the color space has sRGB selected images, which means the colors are encoded with the sRGB primaries and gamma. If we were to change it to RAW, the color space information will change to non-color data, which is better suited to images such as normal maps, depth maps, etc.
So that is what is happening with that image as it is relating to reflecting on the bus and on the ground and the general environment around it, as you can see. Alright, so the color information is there reflecting on it on the ground, which is carrying the color values from the JPEG extension, which is separate from RAW. But we'll keep it at sRGB because we want to maintain that color information.
We will select the image-based light and change it to Sky Dome IBL, and select the directional light and change it to sunlight, which better represents what they are in the scene. We then select the bus windows and assign a new material, which is the Mental Ray material, and to separate it from the global materials and rename it to MIA Window Matte.
And then we're going to go, as you can see, it is separate from the global material. So we're going to change that to MIA Window Matte, which is the Mental Ray, and we're going to change the other material as well, Window Matte.
We can now make adjustments to attributes such as the refraction values, in this case the reflectivity and transparency values.
As you can see, glass is transparent.
To ensure accuracy, you can look up refraction index charts and see the proper amount of values for glass,
just to see what exactly the values are to get a more accurate idea.
in this case between 1.4 and 1.9. To explain further, this represents how light is reflected on objects and the amount that passes through and the amount that bounces off. In this case, imagine the light bouncing off the ground and the environment being reflected in the window glass of the bus.
Because everything is about light reflecting, and you want to see the angle of which the light is hitting the glass to make it look more realistic. All right, so we're going to probably give it a little color.
We will now add a little color to the glass, in this case a slight shade of blue. Leave the glossiness, and we will leave the BRDF attributes and go to the index of refraction values and make adjustments there to 1.5, which is based roughly on the index charts.
So we can input information there. As you can see, yes, we're going to change the index of refraction to 1.5.
We will do a test render to see the result. And as you can see, this will slow down the render process as there is a lot of information to calculate. So it will take a while.
Alright, but as you can see, the glass there now is looking more realistic. You can see it's semi-transparent, and you can see where the environment is actually reflecting off of the glass. And you can see the refraction as well affecting the glass from inside. You have a slight distortion of the images because it shows that the light is bending as it is hitting the glass and penetrating it into the inside of the bus.
We will go ahead and assign materials to the bus door and window. Selecting the window glass, we will assign the window material. We will also select the bus door frame and assign the bus body material to it. There are other objects in the scene, such as the bus tires and the bumpers, which we will add materials to. We will select the front right tire and assign a new material. We will save the scene and go and rename the material to MIA Tire Mat.
Save our scene just in case so we don't lose anything. And we go back and we're going to change the MIA material to the tire material.
Giving it a dark gray color.
More like a tire. I'm going to change the values, the color values, make it darker, dark, very dark grayish color, as you can see there. And we're going to
Adjusting the diffuse and color values, we will also reduce the reflectivity and glossiness to achieve something close to rubber.
So we're going to take down the reflectivity and the glossiness as well. Right.
We will leave the refraction and turn on the Fresnel reflection control function in the BRDF tab. By turning Fresnel reflection on, these attributes become inactive, and reflection is calculated by the Fresnel equation, where its strength is determined by index of refraction in the refraction tab. We will now go ahead and select the other tires and assign the tire material to them.
Alright. So we have those material assigned.
Also, we will add smoothing to the geometry by pressing the 3 key. Also doing the same to the bus body, the door frame, and also the window glass. After that, we will save the image again and do another test render.
I'm going to do the same for the bus windows. Select that, press the 3 key. Alright. So looking a little bit more realistic now. So we can actually select the window glass as well, the door glass. And we're actually going to save the scene again just to make sure we keep everything intact. I'm going to do another test render and see what the scene looks like. Again, the test render is even more slow now because we're actually seeing more information now from the glass reflecting and the tires and everything and the bus body. So it's working there. Okay, almost finished. Taking a little while. Alright, still a little bit more information to go. Rendering. Alright. Now the scene to me looks a little dark. You know, for the background, as you can see, it looks very dark. Perhaps might want a little light on it. I mean, the reflections are okay, and refraction is okay. You know, as you can see, the information there, the size.
The scene looks a little dark, so we will increase the intensity of the directional light, which is the sunlight, and make a bookmark of the render and do another test to see the result.
The bookmark that render, and then we're going to do another test render to see what it looks like. Okay, so I'm just going to do a selection, so we're not going to render everything, we're just going to render that area that we select there just to see what it looks like. So get a faster preview of what the scene looks like. Alright, so that's rendering there.
It's a little too bright, so let's go back and reduce it, as well as make a change to the light angle in the ray trace shadow attributes, and also we will make changes to the camera attributes in the focal length, changing it to a 24mm lens setting.
1.7. Yeah, see what that looks like, so it isn't so harsh. The light isn't so harsh on the scene. And we're going to switch to the camera settings. I'm going to look at the camera. I'm going to change the focal length. It's there from a 35mm lens, which is how the scene is being framed. Because remember, it's a camera pointing at the scene, so we change it to 24mm. That should kind of make things a little bit more, captures a little bit more of the scene than what it was before. Maybe it was a little too close up, but we can actually make adjustments. You can do these things for your scene. You can adjust your camera settings, you know, to make it frame the scene a little more to your liking as well. Alright, so select the other tiles and smoothen them out on the other side. Pressing the 3 key.
We will do another render test, changing the angle of the camera to the other side to see how the shadows are casting.
Alright, so it's taking a little while because even more information has been added. So we want to see how the scene looks now. It's beginning to look a little better. You can see the background a little brighter, and we can see a little more detail of the bus now on the other side. And we adjusted the lighting and the angle of the lighting that is refracting on the bus. So yes,
we will continue our lighting review in the next video.